So, I've spent almost 2000 hours in Rocket League and I want to tell you whether this game is a peak in the multiplayer genre or if it sucks. I will be addressing the current state of Rocket League, its esports scene, the developers' attitudes towards the game and more. Does Rocket League still hold its own after 7 years since its release? Or is it a garbage? Let's find out. Rocket League gameplay is pretty simple. If I were to characterize Rocket League's gameplay in one sentence, I would definitely use this phrase that you've probably heard a million times. Rocket League is basically football with cars. And yes, it's football, not a soccer. To be honest, this game is much more complex than just stupid car football. It offers a wide range of mechanics, from basic ones like power shots and ground dribbles to more advanced ones like double taps, redirects, flip resets, and many more. Each of these mechanics needs to be practiced to excel. And that's exactly what I like about Rocket League. If you want to improve in the game, you need to invest time into it. But when you do this game will reward you with some amazing moments, like when you hit your clip in the real game for the first time. I remember when I was yelling when I hit a double tap for the first time. It looked horrible, but I didn't care. It was a double tap. These moments are unforgettable. In this game there are several game modes, from basic casual matches where there are no ranks, to special modes where you can play hockey with a puck, or basic 3v3 with special abilities. One of the biggest strengths, and at the same time weaknesses of the Rocket League, is the competitiveness of the player base. This game is heavily focused on competitiveness, which is excellent for players who want to grind the ranks. However, it may not be as enjoyable for basic casual players who just want to play a few matches and then leave. They might become bored after some time because this game doesn't offer much for casual players. I am not saying that every non-competitive player won't enjoy this game, but without mods, this game could become dull for these kinds of players. There are thousands of players who have invested thousands of hours just to hit Grand Champion. But not everyone is like this. Many players are just regular people who want only play a couple of games per day because they have life and they may become bored after some time. As I mentioned, Rocket League is a competitively focused game, so esports are thriving in this community. While it may be not as dominant as the esports scenes in Counter-Strike or League of Legends, Rocket League esports events grow larger and larger every year. This growth is not just about prize pools, it's also about the increasing number of organizations involved in Rocket League, the improvement in their organization, and the quality of LANs. For those unfamiliar with the term LAN, LAN stands for Local Area Network, and it refers to an online tournament where computer setups are constructed and players compete on them. There is also a crowd. The most significant Rocket League esports event is the RLCS. This event spans almost an entire year and is divided into 3 different sections: the Fall Split, Winter Split, and Spring Split. Following these splits is the grand finale of the season called the World Championship. I won't delve into RLCS format further because it will be changed for next season. This year's World Championship in Düsseldorf was the largest LAN event in Rocket League's history. It was the biggest not only in terms of the number of people watching it live on Twitch, which reached almost 500,000 viewers in the same moment, the highest number of people watching a Rocket League stream yet, but also in terms of event organization. The organization improves year by year. If you compare Season 1 LAN with the Season 2022-23 LAN, you'll see significant improvements. I acknowledge that the Season 1 championship was a long time ago, but this example best illustrates the growth. Additionally, many well-known esports orgs like G2 Esports, NRG, Team Vitality, Complexity, and many others have invested in Rocket League. The presence of these organizations speak volumes about the quality of the esports scene itself. I am eagerly looking forward to what Rocket League esports will offer in the future. I believe it has enormous potential to become even bigger and larger than it is now. There's also another league called CRL, specifically designed for students from European and North American universities. It's quite similar to RLCS, but has a simpler format and is exclusively for students. What's interesting is that these events are not hosted by Psyonix, the game developer, but rather by community organizations. Psyonix just helps to fund them. I was pleasantly surprised to discover how competitive this scene is. It's almost like RLCS, only slightly smaller. In my case, I find myself somewhere in between. I used to take Rocket League extremely seriously and I was intensely focused on improving. However now, while I still want to get better, I am not as unwaveringly devoted to the game as I once was. I primarily play competitive game modes, but I don't feel the need to grind it as intensively as before. Currently, I spend a few hours playing every couple of days and it's sufficient for me. I don't care about competitiveness that much anymore. But this doesn't mean the Rocket League has become boring to me. No, far from it. I still enjoy this game so much and I love to play it. I have never played a game that I return to as frequently as I do with Rocket League. I've played many games across different genres, from single-player FPS shooters like Doom to platform jumpers like Geometry Dash. Both of these games are fantastic and I love them, especially Doom, but none of them have captivated me as much as Rocket League. This game offers a truly unique experience that can be challenging to find in other games. Additionally, the gameplay is different from other titles. I believe that Rocket League has many things that could be implemented or improved in the game. These range from small improvements, such as adding a search feature in the training packs, to more extensive and imaginative ideas, such as introducing a creative mode similar to what's seen in Fortnite. In this mode, developers provide players with tools to create new game modes, unleashing their creativity. But let's start from the beginning. Here are my ideas. As I mentioned earlier, Rocket League should introduce a search button in the training section. This would make it easier for the players to find specific training packs. I believe a significant enhancement would be the addition of more game modes, because last game mode, which was made by devs and added to the game, was Knockout Bash, and it was quite a long ago. I believe they should make more game modes. These could help keep casual players entertained. Another substantial improvement would be the introduction of a creative mode. This would be a major upgrade because it would allow everyone to create game modes and play them with friends, provided developers give them the right tools. This would please all kinds of players, from tryhards to those who simply want to play a few games after work. Everyone would find something that suits their preferences. Furthermore, some of these player-created modes could become so popular that tournaments could be organized around them, adding an exciting dimension to the game. Adding player profiles would be fantastic too. I would finally be able to see the statistics of all those fucking smurfs that are constantly destroying me in ranked. But seriously now, this game has been out for more than 8 years and the players are still unable to view anyone's statistics except their own. It's rather comical. The addition of player profiles would be an interesting enhancement to the game and I believe it would be appreciated by the community. I understand that Psyonix may not want to introduce new changes to Rocket League because there may be ongoing work on the Unreal Engine 5 port. Speaking of Psyonix, to be completely honest with you, I can't say for sure what Psyonix is currently working on, except for creating new cosmetic items and maps. Oh, I almost forgot, they also release a new Rocket Pass each season. Now, jokes aside, there's a prevailing belief in the Rocket League community that Psyonix is in the process of porting Rocket League to Unreal Engine 5. This speculation arises because the game is still running on Unreal Engine 3 and there are many theories about it. To the best of my knowledge, there hasn't been any announcement from the developers regarding the transition to Unreal Engine 5. I sincerely hope they are working on this and when it's done, it will blow everyone's minds. At present, I can't speak to what the developers are actively doing because there is a lack of communication. Their interactions with players have been minimal and no one can say for sure what's happening at Psyonix or Epic Games. Furthermore, we don't even know when the next RLCS event will begin because the current one has already concluded and we are in the off-season right now. One of the most recent communication from them was through a Twitter post and a short article on their website. In their announcement, they revealed the removal of player-to-player trading within the game, which left many players angry and disappointed. This feature was introduced to the game in 2016, about a year and a few months after the game's initial release. It was a significant part of Rocket League and there were many dedicated trading communities, with some players focusing solely on trading, without much interest in playing game itself. These trading communities were extensive and specific websites were created for trading, such as RL Garage, RL Exchange, RL Insider and others. It's likely that all of these websites will be shut down and the developers behind them will lose their jobs. This announcement is possibly the most disappointing one we've received from Psyonix/Epic Games since Rocket League's release. It will have a negative impact on the game, causing Rocket League to lose many players. This is a sad prospect after so many years of its existence and its yet undiscovered full potential. I hope that the developers will reconsider their decision. In summary, Rocket League is a game with tremendous untapped potential. It's undeniably addictive and I don't mean that in a negative way. I genuinely enjoy this game and, to be honest, it has been my favorite game for long. Esports in Rocket League have reached a high level and they are incredibly entertaining to watch. The only things that bother me are the lack of features that should have been in the game for a long time and the lack of communication from the developers. These issues must change or Rocket League will decline rapidly. I would rate Rocket League a solid 8.5 out of 10. I am deducting a 1.5 point due to the developers' attitudes and the lack of features. If those things were fixed, it would be a solid 10 out of 10. Now, get your lazy ass moving and get out of Platinum.